Welcome back to Hardware Unboxed, guys. Today I'm checking out an extremely cool NAS product, QNAP TBS 453A. Now I felt the need to specify it was indeed a NAS because on first impression, the unit's pretty unrecognizable as a network-attached storage device. QNAP have given this new form factor the moniker NAS book, and like a notebook computer, it can be tucked under your arm and carried around with ease. The idea behind this is that you can quickly unplug the 453A, put it in your laptop bag, and take it to events such as meetings and presentations to display stored files and high-definition multimedia content. Adding to its usefulness for these sorts of scenarios, the device is extremely quiet, mostly thanks to the fact that it utilizes M.2 SSD storage. Now I know what you're thinking, M.2 storage isn't cheap. But these days you can pick up a terabyte of M.2 storage for a little over $250 US, so it's becoming more affordable. Having said that, it definitely would come at a pretty big cost to equip this thing with a serious amount of storage, but I don't think that's what this NAS book is designed for. Rather, the TBS 453A is designed to be an all-occasions portable storage server, LAN switch, home theater PC replacement, and much more through its tried and proven QTS software, which I'll look at a little more closely later. Now though, let's check out the physical design and features. You can see here how small the device is, and trust me, the thing is light. It's just 724 grams with no storage inside, and seriously, how much does an M.2 SSD weigh? Close to nothing. So fully stocked with 4 M.2 drives, the weight difference isn't even noticeable. It's small too, coming in at just 230mm wide, 165mm deep, and is just 25mm thick, meaning it will easily fit in most laptop bags, as I said. Now let's check out the connectivity. Starting at the back, there's an impressive range of options, including 2 HDMI ports, 2 USB 3 ports, an audio out jack, 2 mic jacks for karaoke action, 4 gigabit network switch ports, and a final standalone Ethernet port right by the DC input, which is interesting in its own right. This device can accept DC input anywhere between 10 volts and 20 volts. The supplied adapter is 65 watts, 19 volts, but QNAP says the flexibility makes it suitable for industrial, factory, and other environments that require different voltages. Moving to the side, there's a cleverly placed USB 2 port that's extremely handy for plugging in your wireless mouse and keyboard receiver beside a long cooling vent. Lastly, at the front of the device, there's a USB one-touch copy button at the far left, which allows you to quickly copy data from a portable USB storage device, followed by 2 USB 3 ports and an SD card reader. There's 3 green LED indicators in the middle, and handily on the far right we have volume controls, and lastly the power button. Now the TBS 453A isn't just limited to the M.2 storage inside. Rather, it can be expanded upon greatly by connecting QNAP's separately purchased expansion enclosures, which connect via USB 3.0. At the moment, there's an option for either an 8-bay or 5-bay expansion that'll allow you large amounts of storage and will perhaps be suited to staying at home, ready to be reconnected when you take the NAS book out for an adventure. There are 2 network modes supported by the device too. Firstly, network switch mode, where it simply acts as a switch to share internet and NAS resources, and then also a private network mode, where you can create secure environments for functions such as recording CCTV footage and the like. At the heart of the device is Intel's impressive 14nm Celeron N3150 SoC, which is a quad-core that operates at 1.6 GHz with a boost clock of 2.08 GHz, equipped with the Intel HD graphics engine utilizing 12 EUs, clocked at 320 MHz with a 640 MHz burst rate. The TDP for this CPU is an extremely low 6 watts. In terms of memory, there are 2 options out of the box, 4GB or 8GB, and as per usual, you'll pay a hefty price premium for the larger memory option. The difference is actually $150 US, and this seems like a bit much, but also seems to be the way of the industry. I'm actually surprised not to see a 16GB option, but I believe the processor used can only support up to an 8GB maximum. Storage wise, as mentioned, you can only cram M.2 SSDs inside, and we've got space for 4 of them. These utilize the SATA interface, so bandwidth is limited to 6GB per second, rendering NVMe drives redundant. But hey, so do the gigabit network connection anyway. But this is still fast enough for most use case scenarios, including streaming 4K video for example. QNAP software is some of, if not the best NAS device software going around, so I expected installation to be a walk in the park, and it was. With internet available and the NAS connected to your network, you simply visit start.qnap.com and follow the simple on-screen prompts from there. Once installed, the QTS software is both beautiful and intuitive, acting and appearing quite similar to a standard Windows OS environment. There's the familiar taskbar and desktop icons, which can be grouped, and there are 3 modes to switch between based on what device you're using to access the software: tab for tablets, window, and frameless. The overall look and feel of the QTS software is great, and it really goes a long way to making the entire device seem premium. There's seriously a ton of software features, and I won't go over all of them in detail, we might literally be here for days, but let's look at some of the key ones. There's a cool dashboard which gives you important hardware statistics, as well as a resource monitor, and all of these dashboard widgets can be dragged and dropped onto the desktop. The control panel is powerful too. Here you can access things like system settings, privilege settings, network services, and application settings. There's a storage manager, of course, and this allows you to identify, format, and check on drives, as well as pick the RAID level that suits your needs. Here you can also create iSCSI storage arrays and add targets of other QNAP NAS devices to the NAS as virtual disks. QNAP Snapshot feature is also a brilliant backup system, allowing you to recover specific files in a folder or an entire folder without having to time-consumingly recover an entire dataset, as well as other powerful functions. Controlling NAS basics such as external devices, network settings, network services, shared folders and more is simple, intuitive, and powerful in the QTS software too, but perhaps the best part is QNAP's App Center. Here you can quickly search the library, install, remove, and update existing apps, and browse categorized apps, including QNAP's own recommendations. Think Google Play for your Android. There's a huge range of apps, and QNAP even goes to the effort of certifying apps so you know you'll have no issues. If there's a lot of interest, I can go further into the software features included, but most are fairly self-explanatory, including download station, video station, surveillance station, and more. The last software feature that's certainly worth mentioning though is the Linux station. This allows you to quickly and easily turn the NAS into a PC with a pre-configured Ubuntu distribution, and the entire process is just about idiot-proof. Even I did it. For benchmarking NAS products, we use the Intel NAS Performance Toolkit. If you haven't seen or heard of NASPT before, it's a file system exerciser and analysis tool designed to enable direct measurement of home network attached storage. This tool emulates the behavior of an actual application to provide real-world workloads of typical data application used by home users. For testing, the TBS 453A has been configured using a single Transcend MTS 800 512GB drive. Unfortunately, I don't have more than one of these drives spare at the moment, so I couldn't test RAID. Nevertheless, the performance of the TBS 453A is very strong, and we can see that in many of the tests, it's able to max out the gigabit network connection with performance just north of 100 megabytes per second. Taking a look at the application performance, we received an impressive performance in all 4 tests, and the photo album and office productivity performance was very strong. Now when looking at the file and directory copying results, we see that the TBS 453A again does very well, especially given it's being compared to some pretty stiff competition. The download or from NAS performance as Intel labels it was most impressive. The QNAP TBS 453A sure is different. It's a pioneer of sorts in its form factor and function, and ultimately a very niche product. As is often the case with niche products, the TBS 453A is a little on the expensive side. The compact form factor comes with an obvious storage capacity trade-off too, but this can be somewhat worked around with QNAP's expansion units. But again, these come at a cost. The device presents itself as the ultimate solution for those seeking a portable NAS with awesome multimedia options that strangely, but also oddly conveniently, can double as a network switch. As stated, the QNAP software is best in its class, and this is always a strong pro in favour of any QNAP device. On the downside though, the boot time is curiously long, and the $150 premium for the privilege of a 4GB of RAM upgrade is very steep, and that's US prices. The 4GB version goes for $450 while the 8GB can be had for a whopping $600 USD. Meanwhile, in Australia, we get stung even harder. The 4GB model will run you $700, and the 8GB model starts at $950. Ouch. Don't forget to add shipping. So, all in all, this is a damn cool, powerful, fast, and feature-rich device. Just be prepared to pay for it. It'll be interesting to see the market's response to this kind of device and to see whether other companies come along with similar solutions. Would this kind of NAS suit your needs? Let me know in the comments. I'm your host Matt as always, and I'll see you guys next time. YouTubers like me depend on your support to continue improving the quality and content of our videos. To support the channel directly, consider becoming a patron to also get access to a heap of cool rewards and exclusive giveaways. Also, don't forget you can check prices and buy the products I looked at in this video through the Amazon links in the video description below. Thank you kindly for supporting me and the Hardware Unboxed channel. It means a lot to me and I really do appreciate it, and in return I'll continue to work as hard as I can to keep producing the content you enjoy.